Companies that propagate or trade in seeds, cuttings and plants must register with Naktuinbouw. Naktuinbouw is the quality service responsible for checking these companies by inspecting the propagating material of floricultural, arboricultural and vegetable crops. This is important in order to safeguard the quality and health of the propagating material. The inspection process starts when the company submits a crop declaration. Naktuinbouw works according to an inspection plan, which is drawn up each year by the sector board based on the relevant legislation. As soon as the declaration arrives at Naktuinbouw, it is processed by the administration team, incorporated in the planning and assigned to an inspector. Depending on the crop, the inspector makes unannounced visits to the company at certain intervals.
Hey Hans, goedemorgen. Morgen. Je hebt de eerste eieren klaarstaan, heb ik begrepen.
The Naktuinbouw inspector reports to the person in charge and asks if anything out of the ordinary has been noticed.
816 en 1621.
The basic inspection consists of a quality inspection and a plant passport inspection. This is done out on the field or in the greenhouse. The grower must comply with the minimum quality and plant health standards. The inspector checks the identity, health and quality of the crop. When traded within the European Union, propagating material must be visually free of pests and diseases. The inspector can consult the applicable Dutch and European Union legislation that companies have to comply with on location. This means he always has the latest information to enable him to perform his duties to the best possible extent. This is important as countries outside the European Union sometimes place slightly different demands. If the inspector notices any abnormalities, he asks the grower to remove the plants from the lot in question or, depending on the nature and extent of the problem, he rejects the lot entirely. This material cannot be traded. In some cases, a plant passport is obligatory when material is transported within the European Union. The plant passport inspection focuses on quarantine diseases. These are undesirable diseases that do not occur in the European Union and must be prevented from entering the country. The information on the plant passport can be used to trace the origin of the propagating material. This can be useful information to trace the source of an outbreak of a quarantine disease. In some cases, this plant passport is a combination of a supplier's document and a label. Naktuinbouw carries out the plant passport inspections on behalf of the Netherlands Food and Consumer Product Safety Authority.
Kant is Naktuinbouw.
The difference between a quality inspection and import and export inspections is that the latter concern trade with countries outside the European Union. The products in this specific lot are often taken out of the packaging and inspected in a warehouse or shed. Speed is of the essence here. With an import inspection, the importing company supplies the details electronically. The inspection is planned for the inspector and he receives all the corresponding specifications. After the inspection, the importing company receives a code which they can send to the customs authorities. With an export inspection, the exporting company requests an inspection electronically. Naktuinbouw then inspects the shipment to see if it meets all the necessary standards. If an inspector is not sure about the quality, varietal trueness or varietal purity, or if he suspects there's a quarantine organism, for example, then he takes a sample. This sample is examined in a laboratory. If seed is controlled, then a sample can be used for inspection purposes at a later date. The sample is sown in a trial field, so the seed quality, varietal trueness and varietal purity can be assessed. Next to the obligatory inspections, companies can also decide to adopt the various voluntary Quality Plus systems. These systems indicate that the material meets higher quality and health standards than the legal obligatory standards. For the certification of arboricultural crops, Naktuinbouw makes agreements with companies about additional inspections relating to, for example, the propagating material used, the virus status and varietal trueness. Once all the conditions have been complied with, the material can be supplied, certified and labeled with a certification strip. Another Quality Plus system is Naktuinbouw Select Plant. Companies can use this certificate to demonstrate the extra quality of a lot. Naktuinbouw Elite and Good Seed and Plant Practices are international systems for which Naktuinbouw performs audits at production locations. Obligatory additional hygiene standards apply for participants in these systems. The audits check whether the companies comply with the set demands. During so-called experience days, the Naktuinbouw specialists share their specific knowledge of crops, pests and diseases amongst each other. They also agree on how procedures, instructions and materials and other tools should be used. Supervision is also used as a way of training the inspectors and encouraging a uniform approach to their work. Inspectors can use many handy tools in the course of their work, such as a camera and a meter to measure GPS coordinates. A navigation system can also be used, so the logistics are as efficient as possible. Naktuinbouw also takes measures to ensure the safety of its inspectors, for instance by providing safety footwear and protective clothing. Various authorities, such as the Netherlands Food and Consumer Product Safety Authority, the Dutch Accreditation Council and DNV, monitor how Naktuinbouw performs its tasks. Naktuinbouw also runs internal audits itself.
Ja. Even kijken. Even kijken of we wat aan de wortels zien.
Once a year, Naktuinbouw carries out an administrative audit at the companies. This involves looking at the necessary documents and checking to see if they have been filled in correctly.
Hey, tot ziens.
Oké. Dankjewel. En we elkaar weer over, ja? Ja.
And finally, companies can approach Naktuinbouw with any complaints about the propagating material they have received. One of the ways Naktuinbouw investigates the complaint is by planting the propagating material in a greenhouse before making an independent decision about the case. The inspection activities of Naktuinbouw significantly contribute to high quality and healthy propagating material in the horticultural sector. Naktuinbouw, dedicated to quality.